All right, world, so today's episode is first of a three-part series explaining Tai Lopez's social media tactics for rappers. We're gonna break down his marketing, branding, and social media tactics using a debate interview that he did recently that inspired this series and translate it into a form to help you as a rap artist explode your fan base, expand your engagement, and overall take social media over in 2018. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about social proof, the company you keep, and success by association. Tomorrow, we're gonna talk about making fans live through you and the concept of transferring their emotions onto your success. And lastly, we're going to talk about target markets, demographics, and your customer avatar. But let's first start with success by association, aka social proof. Now, if I am friends with a successful person, or at least have the appearance of friendship with a successful person, people are going to assume that I'm also successful. I call this success by association, and Tai Lopez uses this expertly all over his social media. He does this by name dropping successful people he's met, even going so far as to call them a friend, even if they met once. He interviews successful people to get associated with them, and he quotes successful literature and makes historical references to things of success.
Yesterday I had at my house just a friend of mine. She's the only female pro basketball player for the Harlem Globetrotters. I don't build apps. I brought in my friend Alex Mayer, his app has made $300 million. I went to dinner with Steve Ballmer, me and him, and he's worth $32 billion. Mark Cuban was over here. He spent six hours. So Steve Ballmer and Mark Cuban being friends of mine, you don't think Mark Cuban can add any value. And there are other very smart people. Gary Vee is very smart. There's Grant Cardone. 25,000 people have gone through my social media marketing agency program. It includes probably about 10, 20 hours from me, and about 80 hours from top social media influencers in the world. Who teaches my real estate course, John? I interviewed the top real estate investors that I know. All businesses are now branding businesses, my friend. Ray Kroc realized that in the 1960s and 70s, and he made Ronald McDonald the personal face brand. He became the wealthiest man in the world. Bill Gates realized, and Steve Jobs, that to grow their companies, Steve Jobs talks about, there's a saying in the Bible.
Now, you as a rap artist, you should be interviewing any successful person in hip hop you can get your hands on. You should be cultivating that success by association. I think a lot of rap artists are scared or think that it's lame to interview other artists or people in the hip hop game, like it lowers their value, not realizing that you are who your friends are. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Dan Pena. This is another reason why collaborating with successful artists on tracks is really big, or other artists in general. Getting great photos with artists at events. You'd be surprised at how many artists will take a picture with you if you find them at a smaller event, go up to them after the show, give some value, even offer an interview, take that picture. And very underutilized, because I think people think that it's too salesy or gimmicky, but you understand that this is a successful tactic. You should be name dropping the people that you are associated with, the people that you've talked to even just a little bit as a friend, in order to get that success by association. Building on the idea of approaching successful people in a way that's not going to turn them off, but going to be offering them value, like interviews, like going to their smaller events. Tai Lopez does a very good job of approaching these successful people with the humble role. He asks them a lot of questions, and he appears to be a learner rather than a leecher.
Powerful, my friend. I've made tens of millions of dollars from that. I built my life around mentors and learning from everybody. I'm on this call learning from you, my friend, because I have a different mentality. When I see somebody doing something and it works, I start going, why? My question to you, in terms of you being a more skilled entrepreneur, maybe you are. I don't know anything about you. That's why I'm genuinely asking. I went to dinner with Steve Ballmer, me and him, and he's worth $32 billion. He's a lot more, he asked me more questions and was more interested in what I'm doing than you are. Man, business is huge. I run into people that know things that I don't know, and I'm blown away. In fact, when I meet someone like that, I want to take them out to drinks.
By interacting with people of influence as a student rather than a rich guy trying to be a leech, he doesn't activate their ego, and every successful person has a massive ego, otherwise they wouldn't have gotten as far as they need to. He appears less threatening and doesn't come off like another rich guy trying to leech off of their influence. So again, when you approach these successful artists for interviews, collaborations, sharing fans, you want to actually take the L and not try to appear as cool as you might think you need to. Big mistake a lot of artists make is trying trying to appear too cool, trying to appear aloof when collaborating with more successful influencers. I guess they're scared that they're gonna not take them as seriously if they appear like they're humble or that they actually would like to interact with the person. Huge mistake. Much better to Trojan horse the shit and appear very humble, appear like a student, give them the value, don't activate their ego. First rule of power, Robert Greene, never outshine the master. So when you approach these successful influencers, play the humble role, take the L, appear less threatening, don't activate their ego, and get the value you deserve. Last thing Tai Lopez does by using success by association is he's sharing fan bases subtly by interviewing the successful social media influencers he's interacting with. Tai Lopez is cold-blooded with it. He will literally interview his direct competitors in order to get his brand in front of their fans. He's done interviews with Gary Vee, he's done interviews with Grant Cardone, and what he's subtly doing right there is actually getting in front of their fans so that even if just 10% of his competitors' fans, which are in the millions, interact with Tai Lopez's social media, he's getting that huge boost of fan base. Now he's also subtly differentiating based on demographics from his competitors in his target market, which we're going to talk about in episode 3. The main take-home concept here is by doing interviews, by doing collaborations, by even having a conversation with another artist, with a successful person, you increase the chances of stealing their fans and getting some market share runoff onto your brand. So this episode's Steal This Idea is you should be interviewing artists, you should be playing the humble role, Trojan horse the shit, and you should be getting some market runoff of fans by getting in their social media ecosystem. Today's link of the day is going to be the actual debate between Tai Lopez and a fan, so you should go check that out in the video description box below. And as always, our social media trainings are sponsored by the Online Kingpin, our social media course for rappers. Turn your social media into a one-man marketing agency. Go check that in the video description as well. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Tai Lopez's social media tactic of making fans live through him vicariously, the concept of transference. So look for that tomorrow at 4 p.m. I've been your host, Drew Morrissey, the big homie Drew, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4. Peace.